This is going to be a video about Eric Paddock's interview, the short version only, on 5x5 with another person. Breaking to the point. Many of you may have not heard this because alt news people don't like this because it does actually make some sense. Stephen Paddock worked the system in Las Vegas by figuring out a percentage on a piece of equipment, specifically of specific machines, to where he would lose a specific amount. I covered this on a previous channel, but basically, if you find a machine that will, over the long term, pay out a certain amount so that the house wins a small amount, but always wins, you end up wasting, if you spend above a certain number of dollars per day, you won't lose more than a certain percentage, that percentage. And if you get back 10% of it, if you lose 10% of the money you throw in, all you have to do is find out how much does it cost per day to be in Vegas, having fun and getting free food and drinks, and just spend all day in Vegas once or twice a month or even more often. How much money would you have to spend to do that if you were just to pay? Okay, now take that number, and let's say it's a 10% loss at a slot machine. Multiply it by 10. If you have that amount of money, if you throw that amount of money in, you're only going to lose the same amount you would have spent that day. So all you do is spend slightly less than that large amount. You spend $1 million to get $100,000 worth of loss. You spend $1,000 to get all of it back but 100. The idea here is whatever the percentage is, if it's reliable above a certain amount you have to put into the machine to get it to cough up the money, you literally have the ability, if you keep throwing money into it, to build up your ranking as a customer in Vegas among any locations that are owned by the same company or companies that share that ranking. You would get freebies. Now, there is a similar methodology I'm going to bring up, Carney Talk, and also what happens in Vegas I'm not allowed to talk about in Vegas. The hacking method for breaking Vegas used to be blackjack. They just set up overt limits. Once you win above a certain amount, they're not going to let you win anymore because they're not in the business to let you win all the time. Slot machines and that sort of thing don't require any skill. They just require you find out which machines happen to pay out that week at the upper max payout ratio. They cycle them up and down so that you don't know which one it is, but once you figure out which one it is, you sit on it until they reset it, because they can reset it over a network or whatever. See also why a lot of hacker conventions don't happen in Vegas anymore, because people figured out, oh, we can just reprogram them so all of them pay out a high payout, a relatively high one. Usually the house takes more than 10%, but you can get machines that will take 5% of what you put in. They're being nice. They're giving you a lot back to encourage people to spend more, to gamble more. And in return, according to the Eric Paddock little bit of an interview I saw, Paddock had been doing this for so many damn years that some parts of, not Vegas, but some parts of Nevada decided to blackball him by barring him from getting all these freebies. He's high grading the system. He's hacking it. Now I'm going to bring up the Carney idea. If you know how the carnival tricksters work as far as the machines, especially if somebody's stupid enough to establish a carnival nearby that you can keep going at, or the claw machine, you can get, it's a gambling, they're all gambling devices. It's an amusement device in every city, but it's gambling. You're trying to get something by putting money in for something that may have no value at all. Sometimes it does, like an iPhone inside of a claw machine. One of the methods for that is to buy a claw machine, or find one at a dump like I did and learn how to play the claw machine. I'm not allowed to play the claw machine in some parts of the United States I won't mention, and I'm barred on a city or county or municipality level. I'm barred from playing pinball machines that have any kind of compensation to it, because I figured out how to not tilt one. You use a magnet. Older slot machines in Vegas would respond to certain radio signals and also magnets at one time. People like me get barred real easily because we're cheating. Being able to memorize an entire deck made a lot of people called cheaters just because they could memorize stuff. I could memorize only certain things algorithmically, which is a lot more compact and easier to do. The carny tricks, however, require a slight level of skill. Or you just go to a carnival that's been closed down for years and just play the machines by fixing them again and keep practicing for free all day long for 2 weeks until you master them, and then get all the toys you want because you're a kid. And then they bar you. What happens if you do this in Vegas? Well, you do it in Reno, they bar you from Reno, Nevada. If you do it in Vegas, it's a bit bigger of a pond. You can go ahead and win, and maybe you get treated really good, but what if you get a little greedy? What if you don't lose often enough? Or what if you are on your income that you've collected over years and you're not able to really lose that much? Well, then you get their idea of greedy and decide to only do the things that won't result in you losing anything. I'm going to give you the Starbucks hack. This is what I do. An internet connection in Portland, Oregon that is this fast, even though it's censored by Google, it is censored. I have to work around it with a proxy. Oh, and I have to reload the entire operating system as far as it's concerned by blasting the connection every few hours. But this free internet connection I have is the same speed as the $60 per month transfer rate. So all I have to do per day, since I'm here every day, is spend less than $2 freaking a day, and I'm money ahead. Oh, wait a minute, they sell food. I get drink refills at 50 cents. That's my comp. I don't get sushi comp. I get a discount on the initial payout. I get to be in an environment that's warm. I don't have to pay for the heat. I'm a homeless person, but I'm kept warm more than 18 hours a day by just going to 2 different coffee shops. Now, you wear out your welcome if you do not glad hand. Paddock wore out his welcome. He didn't bust the table once in a while or drag some chairs in. Or, help close the place. Because nothing closes in Vegas. He was on the cameras too much. They keep track of you. When I was in Vegas, the time I was there, that was about the time I'm one of the reasons they keep track of you on an hourly basis, but not the only one. This has been going on for a lot longer. At one time, they would, stop and frisk you because you're on private property, or kick you out. They're not very good at checking fake IDs. No, Barack Obama's birth certificate wasn't freaking forged. Trust me. But anyway, trying to keep this short, I'm going to this time. Eric Paddock may have actually brought up the only thing close to a real reason somebody would go berserk. He wasn't trying to attack, and I love the people straw-manning it in the comment section. He wasn't trying to attack Wynn or the MGM or that particular building or any particular building. He didn't care where he was. He was trying to get back at Las Vegas or the state of Nevada, because he was going to have a really smooth, idealized exit in his life by taking advantage of the really, I think, simple ability to run numbers in his head on the fly and be able to figure out, okay, that machine's doing what I need now. He was overt in what he was doing. He might have even bragged about it. They may have put up with it because he's seed money. He's bird seed. He's the one who gets people in there because they see him having fun with a smile on his face, or maybe a grim look on his face. Maybe that's what happened. But he neglected himself in favor of his hobby, and it allowed him to look like a big wheel and be treated really good. Except for having a place to live, basically he did what I did. I wasn't homeless at the time, but I could have done it. There are people in Las Vegas who are homeless, who shuck and jive their identity by going to places that won't really care and working machines that aren't really maintained. They are ghosts. He wasn't being a ghost. He was out and proud. So, in my opinion, Eric Paddock breaking silence on this whole thing on the 5x5 channel might be, I mean, this is grasping at straws, but this might be the best explanation. Now, to the people who keep saying that nobody died and all these other thought-terminating cliches and mind-terminating Jedi mind tricks, the mind killers, you're a waste of time and energy. But at this point, even though Eric Paddock is absolutely over the hill, over the top, over the bend, beyond the pale, he probably has it correct, because I didn't know this, but yeah. And there's a long form version of it. I hate long form videos. Sorry, Mike. But that actually makes sense in a twisted way. Now think about it. They cost him money, or more accurately cost him fun, by making him have to pay for his fun towards the end. And he cost them a lot of business by making everybody scared of Vegas. Maybe that was his entire point. Maybe his entire meaning of life really was a dreary ending in his existence, but maybe what spurred it on was it stopped being fun to be alive and be rich. Think about it. He got to play at being a famous, a really capable gambler. And according to Eric, he would at times make it to where he didn't lose any money, which is a gigantic no-no. You have to lose a little. If you don't, you'll lose everything. I think that's what happened now. I'm satisfied that that's the best of the bunch of the explanations. I got it from Eric Paddock. Thanks for watching. Have a good day. Good luck with that. And this will be simulcast on the new channel. If anybody wants to, I'm going to add a link to the other channel I set up as an experiment. Mostly because this one's being blocked by YouTube. If you didn't get this message, that's by design by YouTube. Bye.